Hey guys, so I've got Sector 1 of this Conquest series for you today. This is the Conquest series that we are playing to unlock Luther, and it's started, like a day ago, not even. And it is pretty player friendly. I'm actually really excited to talk about a lot of these feats. This is going to be really achievable. A lot of it has been toned down in terms of grindiness, so that this is going to be really, really great for the player base. And I've got all the feats from Sector 1, and then I also have a few of the globals that I want to bring in as well. So we'll go over all of that. But before we start, as usual, I do want to say thank you so much to my patrons. I really do appreciate the support. It means a ton. It does not go unnoticed. And so let's look at the Sector 1 feats, and then I will show you the gameplay as usual. So really straightforward. The first thing you're going to notice is instead of having to defeat 50 enemies here, as usual, we're knocking it down. CG's knocked it down to 35. So you need to defeat 35 enemies with light side Mandalorians and defeat 35 enemies with Ewoks. So both of those, not really a lot of double dipping, unfortunately, even in terms of cheese, because one is going to steal the kills from the other. You need to gain Evasion Up 50 times, and then we also need to win 10 battles with a full squad of resistance units. So that is down from the typical 14 battles as well. And friendly reminder before we even go into that feat, Ben Solo does not count as a resistance unit, so do not bring him with your resistance characters and then wonder why you're not getting credit for this feat. He does not count. Okay, guys, so let's look at the gameplay. I want to start with the global feats, and we're going to start with Gungans because this is pretty awesome. All right, so like I said, let's start with Gungans. So you can see I have 2 out of the 15 that we need in the global feats. So we have to win 15 times with 4 Gungans on our squad. This is really player friendly from CG for 2 reasons. One, we only need 4. So if you don't have Jar Jar yet, you're not out of luck. But 2, they don't need to survive. So you can just throw your Gungans on your squad and drag them along, and if they die, who cares? Because you know what? You still get it towards the global feat. So I am dragging them along with Kylo. You can use any character that is going to be able to solo the node for you, so it doesn't have to be Kylo. The reason why I chose him was because I didn't want to use Rey and have them go into damage immunity. I really wanted to highlight the fact that they could die. So you can see here, I'm actually going to lose 2 of them. I pulled some of my mods off of them as well, just to make them weaker. I really wanted to highlight the fact that they do not need to survive to get this done. So like I said, doesn't have to be Kylo. You can use Rey if you really want them to survive, or if that's the character you want to use. Since we have Zealous Ambition discs in this Conquest series, you could do something like Dash. He hits really hard if you do have a bunch of Zealous Ambition equipped. You could just AoE the team to death. So anything like that is going to count. But full disclosure, I actually have no discs equipped for this fight, so it doesn't really matter what discs you're going to use. As long as you get the win, it will count towards the feat. So we are now at 3 out of 15. Okay, so the next one that I do want to look at is winning with Rex in your squad. So I have said this in my planning video before. I really like to go in on Inquisitorious teams with Phoenix squads. It is so much fun, and Captain Rex is the perfect 5th for this squad. So it works really nicely. He just kind of kills everybody. The uniques play off of each other, and you kind of get into a little bit of a turn meter loop. So this does work even nicer if you have Volatile Accelerator, Amplify Agony, Zealous Ambition, anything like those discs in a combo on their own, etc. It does just amp it up and work even smoother that way. But as of right now, I just have a green fortified disc equipped, which is why this is taking a little bit longer. It's also why the Inquisitors are getting a few turns in. So the more discs you have, obviously, the faster it's going to go for you. But it does work nicely. And like I said, this is going to count towards the global feat of having Rex on your team and him surviving. So he does need to survive in order to get credit. But thankfully, he does play really nicely on other teams as well. So if you don't want to use your Phoenix squad, if you have Leia, you can go ahead and use Leia. He is just going to plug and play pretty well. The next one I want to show you from here is kind of a double dip. It is a double dip, to be honest, on the global. So we're going to do Rex surviving, and I also want to work on Jedi Knight Cal kills. So we're going to put them both together on one squad and just kind of double dip our way through Sector 1 here. So we're going to take our Conquest hero, Jedi Master Luke, because he's the best GL for this game mode. Jedi Knight Luke doesn't have to be Jedi Knight Luke. We're just going to take another Jedi. Jedi Cal, obviously. You're going to bring Captain Rex as well. And then I actually am going to sub out Shock and put in Watt just to force the taunt on Luke. You don't have to do that. If you want to bring another Jedi there, you can. It's totally up to you. Okay, so at this point, I have put a Zealous Ambition disc on as well as the Fortified. And the reason why I'm telling you that is because Rex is a support character. So I accidentally, by, not thinking, hit his AoE, and he is going to steal some kills from Jedi Knight Cal. But he survives. Cal's going to get a couple kills. If you don't do what I did, you'll get more kills with Cal. So just keep that in mind with that. But this way, you're working on both of them at the same time if you want to double dip that way. All right. So let's have a look at the actual Sector 1 now. We're going to go in with Resistance. So again, I have said this at the beginning. I've said it in my planning video, but we're going to reiterate. Ben Solo is not a Resistance character. Do not take him on your squad. It will not work. That being said, I am going to use a Jedi Training Rey lead. The reason why I am using this and not using my GL Rey is because I want to show you that it is possible if you don't have GL Rey unlocked yet. So obviously, the more discs you have, the better the outcome is going to be for this. So I do have Fortified and one Zealous Ambition disc equipped. It is a green Zealous Ambition, which means that R2 and BB-8 here are going to hit a little bit harder since they're both support characters, which, we love, especially when we're getting the exposes out there. Like, that is going to be fantastic. Obviously, like I said, more discs, the better. And again, if you have GL Rey, obviously you're probably going to use her instead. I just wanted to highlight the fact that you don't necessarily have to use her, and you don't, again, need to have your whole squad survive. You're just focused on getting the win here, so you want to take in the best resistance team possible that you can build if you need to get this feat done and make your way through on teams that you know that they can win against. So I like to go against Karth teams. I find them pretty good to control that way. Plus, with the Zealous Ambition helping out, you can chew through them decently. And that way we'll get a tick towards Resistance. Okay. Another feat we're going to look at here is the Evasion Up. So this is 50 times. You can get this with Han Solo. So if you're running your standard CLS squad, I do want to point that out, that he will do his little shoulder shrug, and that's an AoE, and all your characters will get it. You can also get it with Bad Batch. So this is on Professor X. And I actually have no discs equipped as of this moment on the Professor X account. So I did take Omega as the 5th. You don't need to take her, but I just did it because I'm lazy and didn't want to select a different faction. She's going to die. I don't really care. The characters that you care about, though, are Hunter and Echo. So Echo's second special, his AoE, that pulls all the turn meter, etc., that gives you your AoE Evasion Up on your squad. And then Hunter's first special, his AoE, also gives you an Evasion Up on your entire squad as well. So just between the two of them, you're going to be getting 10, assuming you have a squad of 5. You're going to be getting 10 Evasion Ups that way. And then obviously the more turns they take, the better, because you will get more Evasion Up that way as well. And then again, like I mentioned, you can use Han Solo on any other of your teams, and his shoulder shrug is going to give you some Evasion Up that way as well too. So like I said, 10, and we're making our way through it. Okay. So this now is light side Mandalorians. We have to kill 35 enemies with them. As you can see, Fortified and Zealous Ambition still equipped. We're going to go all the way back to this Bad Batch node at the front. The reason why I'm doing it on Bad Batch here is because I want you to see that it does work on them, and they are a Datacron bonus node at the end of this sector. So if you want to farm your Datacrons, you can actually do your light side Mando kills at the same time. And I'm taking a full light side Mando squad here so that it doesn't matter who gets the kill, because they're all Mandalorians, so it's fine. So the Zealous Ambition disc is really great with Armorer since she is support. She's going to hit a lot harder. And you just kind of want to chew through your Bad Batch. You have to get through Wrecker since he's taunting. And then I like to go after Echo next, Tech after that, and then Hunter and save Omega for the end. But like I said, they're all getting the kills, so it's all great. Keep in mind, if you have a volatile accelerator disc, it can steal kills from you because it's putting dots out there, and if they die from the dots, it's going to steal your kills. However, if you don't, you're laughing. So 5 kills with a full squad, and that is your Mandos. Now, you can do this team that I'm going to show you with Mandalorians as well if you wanted to. I'm going to show you it with Ewoks because that's the other feat here. So 35 kills with an Ewok on your squad. You could do a full Ewok squad, obviously, if you want to, but this Jedi Master Luke team is pretty strong, in my opinion, in terms of getting kills. So, obviously, Jedi Master Luke. You have Watt there for the tank tech. He's going to put it on Jedi Master Luke to take the hits. And then you are going to use Jedi Master Luke's leadership ability there to constantly call your Ewok or your Mandalorian to assist. I specifically chose Chirpa in this case because he is a support character. So that Zealous Ambition disc he will get to take advantage of when it's his turn, and he just is going to basic and hit harder that way. And then Hermit, Yoda, and Shock T are both able to call assists on Chirpa when they aren't able to do Jedi Master Luke's leadership ability. And then that way you can kind of get a couple more hits in and have him land some kills that way. And again, like I said, you could do a Mandalorian there instead of an Ewok if you didn't want to do a full Mandalorian squad, and that would work the same way. And you're just calling the Mandalorian. Light side Mandalorian, I should clarify. Okay. Let's have a look at the bosses. So we're going to start with the mini boss. It's a Seer team, and you need to win with only light side characters and then defeat an enemy with Scout Trooper. So you're going to be doing this twice. I figured since we have to do 10 wins with a resistance squad, we might as well do a resistance team here because that way we're double dipping. If you don't want to do that, by all means, I would probably do something that's going to help you double dip elsewhere. So just keep that in mind. Now, with the modifier on this feat, you can't target Seer. So you have to go after everyone else first and get rid of them before you move around and eventually get to her. It is a little bit annoying. It's also a little bit annoying because of her second special. So the more turns everyone takes, she is going to just rack up the ability to hit you harder with that kind of saber toss thing that she does there. So you just want to keep that in mind. That's particularly why I chose to take GL Ray with this instead, so that we could get into her ultimate and protect the squad if you care about 3-starring the node. Her damage immunity going on to the allies when they dip too low is also going to help you out that way. And like I said, you're basically just going to pick off everyone else on the other team and then obviously kill Seer at the end, and you'll get your credit for your full light side squad on this node. And you'll also get your credit for your full resistance team. Again, don't take Ben Solo. He's not a resistance character. So pretty straightforward though. You're just going through and winning. If you care about getting 3 stars, great. If you don't care, I just plow through and come back to it later if you need to. Okay, and then the other half of this boss is that we have to get a kill, defeat an enemy with Scout Trooper. So, I didn't want to take a full Trooper squad. I wanted to kind of figure out something interesting-ish that could work. And I figured since they take a decent amount of turns, we could maybe do something like a Traya lead. So we're going to take Darth Traya. We're going to take Jedi Master Luke. We want him to kind of be our taunt there and to take some of the damage. Watt, obviously, to make the taunting happen. And then we're going to take Scout Trooper, clearly, because we need to defeat an enemy with her. And I also wanted to take somebody that could pass turns to Scout Trooper. So I chose to take Thrawn. You could choose to take First Order Officer. Anyone that can swap the turn to another character, essentially. But I chose to take Thrawn. So the really great thing with this squad is that Scout Trooper Thrawn, and Traya are all tagged as support characters. And we have that Zealous Ambition disc equipped, so they are going to hit harder that way. So like I said, we want the tank tech on Luke. I did choose to fracture with Thrawn first instead of swapping the turn to Scout Trooper right away. I wanted to try to get some damage in on one of the characters and work them down a little bit before Scout Trooper was going to try and go in for a kill. And then I also have, so I've got the one green Zealous Ambition equipped, one green Fortified, and I have one blue Amplify Agony, just to do hopefully a little bit of extra damage if possible. So Rey there is kind of hanging on by a thread, and we're just going to kind of wait and hit other characters, leave Rey alone for now until Scout Trooper can just basic get the kill. And then that way it doesn't really matter now who's getting what kill. So I'm not going to worry about, making sure I don't accidentally kill somebody that's not Scout Trooper because it doesn't matter anymore. So like I said, Thrawn, Traya, and Scout Trooper are all going to take advantage of that Zealous Ambition disc. So you want to fracture whenever you can. You want to use Traya's big hit whenever you can. You just want to take advantage of that since they are support characters. You'll be able to chew through the enemies a lot faster that way. And then you can get through this boss since it is a little bit annoying to have to kill Seer at the end. But it ends up working out just fine. And you can get the kill shot in with your Scout Trooper and not have to worry too much. So that is pretty much it. Obviously, you can hide her behind a different GL if you wanted to. You could do like a Lord Vader, or if you had really strong troopers or whatever you wanted to do there. I just wanted to guarantee that she actually got a turn with the turn swap from Thrawn, which is why I chose to take that squad makeup specifically. Okay, so that is the mini boss there. There are my discs just for proof. And let's go have a look at the boss. So here you have to win with Grand Admiral Thrawn surviving, and you also have to win without using any Empire. So clearly you have to do this twice since Thrawn is tagged Empire. And I, again, figured since we have to get resistance wins here, we might as well take a full resistance squad again. And then that way we could double dip a little bit in the sector. But you can realistically go in against any team on this node that isn't Empire and make your way through it. Obviously, so Darth Vader starts with Taunt. This is the modifier on this boss specifically. And it's annoying because if you don't have a way of getting around it, then you have to kill him, which means he boosts everyone else's. All of his allies get extra health and offense and all this ridiculous crap. So it is annoying, but it's doable. So like I said, any squad that's not Empire that you can use to get through this, it doesn't have to be resistance, but I did want to double dip if possible. Again, don't take Ben Solo. So as you can see, I had to kill Darth Vader because of the taunt, but I mean, it's pretty laughable at this point. You're just able to control everyone with Jedi Training Ray with her turn meter manipulation, and then you can just go through, kill everybody off, make your way through, and you'll get credit for not having any Empire characters on your squad that way, and then as well as having a full resistance squad if you choose to double dip. If you don't, then that's your prerogative. So that is that. The next side of this boss is winning with Thrawn. So I will show you that here. All right. So like I said, we need to keep Thrawn surviving here. I still only have the Fortified and Zealous Ambition and one Amplify Agony equipped. So it's that blue Amplify Agony disc, which I picked up after beating the boss the first time. So my Rey team did not have it equipped. I am going to go in with the Bam Han Chewie Dash team. I did not want to take a GL. I wanted to try and make it doable without taking one as a shield. So that's why I chose to do this. If you have Volatile Accelerator, this is going to work even better. I don't have it, like I mentioned, and it does work without having Volatile Accelerator equipped. But you're going to shoot. I chose to shoot Thrawn since you can ignore taunt. I didn't want him to fracture anybody. I wanted to play it safe. Sadly, Dash was ability blocked, and we are going to kill Darth Vader. It's fine. Essentially, all I care about is having Dash get his AoE. So I want him to survive. We're going to put the damage immunity on him. I need him to get his AoE here. and he's just going to hit everyone decently hard. The more zealous ambition you have, the better, and you can get through it that way with Thrawn surviving. Okay, guys, so that is Sector 1, as well as some global feats mixed in. Like I said, I think this is an extremely player-friendly Conquest series. I hope that these changes that they've done are here to stay. I think it's fantastic, and I'm really excited to see how the rest of the series plays out. I think a lot of us are going to be finishing a lot sooner than we usually do, and we're going to find it hopefully considerably less grindy, which is great. And I will be back tomorrow with Sector 2, and as usual, each sector one by one, one sector per day like I usually do. And that is pretty much it. So hopefully this was helpful, and I will see you guys tomorrow.